Alright, look, this video does not need to be anywhere near as long as it is. The practical value of this, disabling the Windows key plus R run dialog box, is really easy. It's super simple and should take less than 2 minutes tops. But if you're willing to indulge me and let me tell a couple stories, some story time, and some rambling and ranting on all of, my mistakes and kind of why I had to make this video, then please stick around and watch to the end. If you just want the solution though, we'll get that right away in the first couple minutes, and then we'll get to the fun story time. This video is sponsored by AnyDesk. I'll tell you more about them a little bit later. You might have seen a whole lot of fake CAPTCHA scams and malware going around these days. And the trick is to have you click into a CAPTCHA button to say, I'm not a robot, but the instructions and to validate and verify you're human are to press the Windows key and R on your keyboard and then Control V to paste in the contents of the clipboard and press enter. Ultimately, this means you, the victim, are running arbitrary code and potentially invoking malware on your computer. So in this video, I wanted to give you some defense, some prevention and system hardening so that you're unable to open the run dialog box in Windows with the Windows and R key on your keyboard. And to be honest, this is an extremely simple Windows registry tweak. So I am inside of my Windows 11 virtual machine, and we can very easily open up the registry editor with registry editor typed in on the start menu search bar or the command regedit. When I open this up, it will prompt for UAC or the user account control. This will need to be done as admin. So you'll need high privileges to make these changes to the registry key HKey local machine. This could work just as well for the current user, but if you want this system-wide enforced for all users, you should use HKey local machine. And the path that we'll drill down to is opening the folders Software, Microsoft, Windows. You can press W here to get down there a little bit faster. We want current version, then Policies, and Explorer. Now in the right-hand side, you can see all the keys that might already exist on your system, but we want to right-click and create a new key. Actually, a value that we'll put inside of this key, and this can be a DWORD 32-bit value. We'll call it no run, and if I hit enter on this once again to change or modify the value, we'll set this to the value 1. And with that set, we're done. Now, if I were to try and press Windows key and R on my keyboard, it does still pop up the run dialog box because this change has to be done and then restarting Explorer or your computer or whenever you log back into your desktop. So I'll sign out here. And now when I log back in, as I get back to my desktop, if I try and press the Windows and R key hotkey on my keyboard, we'll no longer be able to open the run dialog box. We'll get this error: the operation has been canceled due to restrictions affected on this computer. Please contact your system administrator. Excellent, cool. We totally stopped that attack vector. Super simple thing, but still effective and will help limit the attack surface of these click fix or reCAPTCHA phish scenarios. Now, of course, you can just as easily run this as a command within the Windows command prompt, of course, running with administrator privileges, so there's our UAC prompt again, but that is super simple. You could do this with PowerShell or the classic reg.exe command, where we reg add with that path in the registry, set the value no run, and enforce it to be the value of 1. I'll hit enter here, and that's just as easy. You can automate this or have it done very easily within group policy. Oh, and PS, I'll include a link in the video description for the Windows Club article that covers this just as well. They walk through everything that I've just showed you, but do have a little bit more in-depth details on how to do this via group policy. So in case that's helpful, do want to give them credit where credit is due, link in the video description. That's it. That's all this video really should be. Probably better as a YouTube short, in all honesty. But look, if you are willing to indulge me and listen to some of the stories and why I felt like I had to make this video, and I feel a little bit bad, look here, let's get to it. But before we do, just let me take a quick second. Let me tell you about the sponsor of today's video. AnyDesk, the best choice for remote desktop access. AnyDesk is fast, even on low bandwidth connections. With 99.98% uptime, it's reliable, backwards compatible with older operating systems, even with file transfer functionality and a clean user interface. It feels like you're sitting at the remote device. And the best part is, AnyDesk is completely free for personal use. There are custom-tailored business plans to help your whole team stay connected, with tons of use cases like video editing, remote 3D printing, and general collaboration across your organization. Connect your own devices for access anywhere, and even help support family members with troubleshooting and those ever-present tech support asks. Use AnyDesk to save time and effort with the easily customizable, secure, and smart choice for remote access. Whether it's in the cloud, on-premise, or even on mobile, AnyDesk is trusted by over 185,000 businesses worldwide. Get started with AnyDesk and connect your world with my link below in the video description, jh.live/AnyDesk. Huge thanks to AnyDesk for sponsoring this video. All right, now let's get to story time. So a couple months ago, about 4 months ago, I released this YouTube video called Fake CAPTCHA Runs Malware. And this was off of just the Huntress Security Operations Center tracking down incidents where this trick was used in the wild by real info stealer malware and cyber criminals. In that video, I walked through the incident and showcase really what the threat actors used in this verify you are human lure and phish. Social engineering, really. We also covered some really cool forensic artifacts so you could track down things that might have ran from the Windows Run dialog box, but at the end of the video, I showcased a little insomnia project that I had, where I had put together and shared a GitHub repository recreating this attack chain. And silly me, I thought I could improve it, or make it better with a couple other tricks. And I thought this would be a cool, kind of cutesy, neat thing to showcase and understand the attack chain. Really, hey, putting all the puzzle pieces together to have a better understanding and see how threat actors and hackers use this in the real world. And I will say that this did exist previously. This is just based off of the stuff that was already happening and already existed, used by Llama Stealer and other malware families in campaigns that the industry called ClickFix. But I apparently thought we could make this look as close to the real Google CAPTCHA as possible and add a few more bells and whistles, like including some extra tag at the end that says, "I'm not a robot, reCAPTCHA verification ID," and a random number, so it adds a little bit more legitimacy when you paste a payload into the run dialog box. I added a few more hiccups with like an HTA file, and then tried to scheme up other ways this could be used. I did add the note, "Oh, educational purposes only," with me sort of memeing and trolling just to be a silly, funny haha, but this was probably a bad call. This showcase had gone far and wide and gave the threat actors a little new toy to play with. Then, now, more than ever before, info stealer malware and other attack chain campaigns using this trick are kinda running rampant. And I feel a little bit like it's my fault. Now I know, maybe it's, I don't know, I guess a little selfish or narcissistic to think like, oh, this was mine when it's weird, but I do think that now seeing the current campaigns and the trajectory, they're using a couple of those bells and whistles, and my goodness, it has made a lot of noise. This isn't some like weird cliche, I don't know, YouTuber apology video or whatever in a strange cyber security sense, but I did want to, at the very least, talk about it. So soon after, security researchers, threat hunters, SOC analysts, they're seeing this everywhere. It's getting shared on Twitter, it's getting shared on Mastodon, Blue Sky, whatever. Hey, some folks seeing a fake Canada Revenue Agency website set up with that CAPTCHA. Fake CAPTCHA to run the payload. It even started this like widespread GitHub scam where there suddenly were a ton of issues being created in open source repositories with a little hook and lure to say, important, security vulnerability detected in your repository. Go to this link, github-scanner.com, where if you go to it, it's the reCAPTCHA phish. Granted, this is using the old original Llama Stealer style of the display and aesthetic, but when you copy paste the command, it includes the checkbox verification ID number to hide the original command, like mine did. And this was the first of many different fires that sort of came from this, and oopsie daisies, where I feel like I just even tangentially or indirectly kind of played a part in how this is going on. Some other cybersecurity content creators start to share this story. Big shout out to Cyber Maddie. If you haven't heard of her before, please do go check out her channel, all the awesome stuff she's up to. I'll include another link in the video description. She's a good friend. We met at a couple MSP conferences, and I'm super happy with all the stuff she's doing. But she showcases the thing. Then we got news articles coming out and about, journalists, reporters covering this thing. This one with Bill Hurley over at IT Brew actually reached out to me and we got to chat about it. Weaponizing copy paste, kind of wild, but I don't know, getting the word out, trying to make sure folks are aware for good reasons. That's the hope, anyway, but obviously, in all reality, it's not really all being used for good things. Threat actors, of course, kind of adopt this and then start to build it into their own campaign. Really kind of feel like I played a part. Cause the thing is, even though this was 4 or 5 months ago, it's still going on. There are news articles of this from January and February well into 2025. And they include my little cutesy Dumbo trick of the I'm not a robot reCAPTCHA verification ID random number with the code that I crapped out. And there are more and more articles about this because it does not slow down. Threat intelligence shops and communities are sharing anytime they have a sighting of this, and it's even like rebranded or reskinned to work with Cloudflare. Heck, we even saw like the Cloudflare.bat video previously on this channel. And I'm memeing and trolling with a couple of my folks and friends here. They say, hey, I blame John. Here's a link to his repo, it's his fault, and I am consciously and very willingly falling on my sword here, saying I acknowledge, look, I think maybe a good amount of the spree is really my fault, yeah. Some cyber criminals use it to hack the government of Barbados, and now that's one going on to like ransomware, and this is an alert, an article, like write up a notification from the CERT UA, or the Computer Emergency Response Team of Ukraine, where they're discussing how an APT, Advanced Persistent Threat, over in Russia is targeting their infrastructure and services and systems with the reCAPTCHA phish. And if you scroll down to very bottom, get to see a couple of the screenshots and pictures, there's my thing, and it's like heart-wrenching. Oh my gosh. You can try and run the page through Google Translate, and they're telling you all about it. All the indicators of compromise, all the stuff from this reCAPTCHA phish. Pressing Windows key and R to open the command line, and then pasting in a payload. To include the silly stupid, my little gimmick of the, nice looking CAPTCHA, and the I am not a robot verification ID random number. Ugh. This is not the first time I think I've touched the hot stove or gotten a little close to the sun. Folks remember way back when in the Conti ransomware group, when their documentation and playbooks were leaked and public out on the internet, you could actually see a reference to the Print Nightmare exploit that we put together in PowerShell with my good buddy Caleb, the repository that we put out and about. It's actually included and present in that document. And I've gotten messages from folks who have seen their infrastructure compromised and attacked with that. So kind of heartbreaking to see my name in the logs. That's a little bit of a gut punch. And there we are in the Conti docs. During the MSDT like Felina attack days, I had a proof of concept that I had put out and shared over on GitHub, and then it would actually pull back and retrieve a netcat binary from the repo. Now, my GitHub username is my name, John Hammond, so once again, it's in the logs with my name. I've tried to tell myself, okay, look, I have found the line. I don't know about that ethical conundrum that I'm not super happy with, not to open the can of worms of offensive security tooling and public disclosure nonsense, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I feel bad as a person, as a human, as an individual that feels affected and a part of that. That's just, I don't want to do that again. But I apparently have. This is another threat report or security research article, a write-up from Proofpoint called Security Brief. Click Fix Social Engineering Techniques Floods the Threat Landscape. Put together by Tommy Madjar and Selena Larson over at the Proofpoint research team. And if you take a look through this, they discuss all this, kind of the origins of ClickFix used before by ClearFake, it seems, and other malware families. But now it has been blowing up. And if you walk through it, this part guts me here. Notably, threat actors have been observed recently using a fake CAPTCHA themed ClickFix technique that pretends to validate the user with a verify your human CAPTCHA check. Much of the activity is based on an open source toolkit named reCAPTCHA phish, linking to the repo available on GitHub for educational purposes. The tool was released in mid-September by a security researcher, and Proofpoint began observing it and email threat data just days later. The purpose of the repository was to demonstrate a similar technique used by threat actors since August of 2024 on websites related to video streaming. YouTube and my video. I had met Selena, one of the authors for that Proofpoint blog, at the From the Source conference, one of the volatility conferences, and we got together for the evening party and like after hours dinner and all, and she was telling me like, John, we're putting together this blog on the thing. Do you know how many threat actors are using your CAPTCHA fish? And obviously I'm a little embarrassed and don't exactly know how to handle the situation, so I say, a lot? And Selena goes, yeah, a lot. And just recently, I attended DEF CON, the Detection Engineering and Threat Hunting Conference. They had a lot of different locations kind of all over the world. I went over to Seattle to join the party there on site and in person. And as an added extra and optional little activity, some more fun for the attendees at the conference, DEF CON had this cool little video game that they put together, a Game Boy game you could run in your browser, all built together with like Game Boy Studio. So super cool and cutesy. Let me just cruise through it super quick. We'll speed it up, but I do want to show you this. As you get to the end, they prompt you with a challenge to be able to do with, I think, Azure KQL. I might be misremembering earlier, but they say you need to use the DEF CON lab environment and you can use Sentinel. That's what it is. Find the endpoint event that was the initial access. The attacker used John Hammonds reCAPTCHA fish kit. Search for MSTA and I'm not a robot in the sysmon logs. Enter the full URL of the remote HTA file in the web form below. I'm in the video game with the malware. And the Seattle DEF CON organizer, Randy, who's super sweet. Honestly, I really like this. Was a very kind gesture. He put together a little award, a trophy. He 3D printed a dragon with a 3D printer with like a cool little pose to like blast fire out. And during the lunch break, he had me get up in the front and awarded me with the Dragon Award, which is extremely sweet and heartwarming, but also, again, stomach turning and weird because he's like, wow, John, you made this cool thing. Cool like a dragon. While simultaneously burning things and setting the internet on fire. The 3D printed trophy broke on travel, and that kind of makes me really sad. But there it is, another notch on the belt for the Dragon Award. But thank you, though, Randy. That was very sweet of you. It's just kind of a strange thing. And I can show you news article after research article. This one was put from Italy's, I think. I don't know, it's in Italian. The CERT AGID, Computer Emergency Response Team from Guardio caught wind of this in a ginormous malvertising campaign of like 3,000 compromised sites that would just funnel traffic. That landed on Bleeping Computer and then got syndicated and is going everywhere. More and more and more news articles and reports and research and things out and about. And again, you can slap me in the face here. If I'm being too big-headed or if it's like selfish to think, hey, maybe this is kind of me, then I get that. But folks are seeing this activity and sharing it on LinkedIn. And look, this was one case, and I actually think maybe this is kind of a cool part to it, though. While we are still able to build up some defenses, big shout out Huntress on our end. We did build this into our security awareness training and the phishing simulation engine, where we send, hey, mock phishing emails to make sure your employees, your teammates, your company doesn't fall for this. And I can leak that. I think I can say that because I didn't, our CEO did. But hey, if you want to go take a look, that's something that, I don't know, hopefully make things better with this. But goodness gracious, my favorite, if I could even say that, story and fire to come from this was very recent while I was away at Wild West Hacking Fest, where the online account Twitter handle Uwu Underground, and I love these folks, hey, Pony Award winning 5 times APT funded magical musical malware girls singing about APTs, advanced persistent threat, grifters, and snake oil in cybersecurity. Now I know this might not be everyone's favorite art style of AI anime girls, but bear with me, they posted this. 2 weeks ago, we got this gem of a DM and direct message. Random person sends, hello, do you think you can help me? I think I got virus from YouTuber. And Uwu Underground responds, we're not tech support. Maybe you can run your antivirus or something. And they say, okay, well, I was on an anime site and it told me to verify myself to press Windows buttons. So I did, and now my laptop is poorly. I think John Hammond YouTuber infected me. No. They share a screenshot of the video, fake CAPTCHA runs malware, and they say, this is infection me. He spoke it, and now I'm infected. John Hammond infect me. John Hammond exploited me. John Hammond me. And this got some hee-hees and ha-has, lol W's, but look, I think the quote, John Hammond me, I guess now is a verb? And now Uwu Underground, as they make electronic music and super cool, phenomenal tracks, put out this banger, Uwu Underground, Fake Captcha, subtitled John Hammond Me, Verify Human, and I gotta play it for you. It's so freaking good. We chatted with them a little bit after, and they were saying like, yeah, we saw you liked Infected Mushrooms, so we wanted to put out a banger. So here, sound warning for a quick second. I do want to play this because I think the song is incredible, and it is just kind of funny.
Windows plus R key, Control V, press enter. Now infect me. Windows plus R key, Control V, press enter. PowerShell.exe. Windows plus R key, Control V, press enter. Now infect me. Windows plus R key, Control V, press enter. John Hammond exploited me. Windows plus R key, Control V.
All right, I want to put it back on. It's just so good. My name is The Drop.
Windows plus R key.
Okay, all right. Oh my jeez. I did comment on that post like, wow, Kate, can I show this in a video? Do I have your permission? Do I have your blessing? And I'm super grateful for them. Wanted to give them credit, of course. Credit where credit is due. Huge kudos. They say, hey, we'll give you a high quality version. So thanking them. And I appreciate just the ability to be able to help showcase and spread all the incredible stuff that they're doing. I do absolutely want to support them. And then I don't know, maybe in the future we could have some cool music for the channel or just all the stuff that we're up to. So hey, great friends in the industry and a silly circumstance to be able to bring that to life. Hey, if you made it to the end here, holy crap, thanks so much for sticking with me for story time. And I guess, I don't know, was that like, what, 5, 6, 7? I don't know how many micro fires that I still feel bad about. And it's just so weird. It's very weird to, I don't even know how to explain it. You know, I'm sorry, I guess. Let me know what you think. Hey, please give me some of that constructive criticism, feedback, your opinion, your input out in the comment section. And look, if I'm ever doing something stupid, if I'm being dumb, like, hit me up. Please, like, let me know. You don't need to defend me if I'm doing something that's messed up. I don't ask for that by any means. Just, yeah, just a dude, just a person, just a fellow, just someone trying to do some stuff in security. So please don't hesitate. I am grateful for a lot of the friends that were, hey, joking and bantering with me. Haha, I blame John. He says, I don't really blame you. I know this is just the way things tend to be. So look, that's the end of the video. Thank you for indulging me, letting me ramble and rant. I don't know if it's egotistical to think like I'm in that part of the picture some way, somehow, but at the same time, I absolutely just wanted to talk about it. So it's not something that I'm, leaving behind in the closet or just not approaching and discussing. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please do all the YouTube, things like, comment, subscribe, see you in the next video, and link in the video description for our sponsor.